Hi YouTubers, this is Maine Indian Feathers, and just thought I'd do a short video on things that I'm supposed to do and things that I've done. Anyway, I have a long list of things that I was supposed to start in May to get done to make it easier for summer, but I guess I'm just going to have to trudge through the heat and humidity and get it all done before fall, because it just didn't happen this May. Anyway, the one thing that did happen is I had promised my kids I'd make them each a very small garden plot of their own. So I built these 3x3 garden things, and they had planted what they were going to eat and a few little extras just for me. Such nice kids that I have. Anyway, the first take of certain things did not happen, so we had to do some replanting, so things are a little bit behind, and I think I had quite a few duds. My radish seeds, first time around, did not happen at all. That was because of the chickens. They kind of got in here. Second time around, didn't do too well either. Only have one radish and a smidge of one starting. The next is, there was supposed to be spinach here, and it did not like the humidity, and they kind of died off as seedlings. And I don't know what to do to fix that, but if anybody has any ideas for next time, I would love to hear it. But I instead planted a spaghetti squash in here because I discovered spaghetti squash, and I absolutely love it in replace of actual spaghetti. So it'll be easier on my waist. And my children decided pole beans and watermelon seeds had sprouted in our compost pile, and they wanted to give it a whirl. My son's, as you can tell if I can back it up here, his watermelon did awesome. Not too much of anything else. Carrots, broccoli, and lettuce did not really get a chance because the watermelon took off and really monopolized his whole garden bed, but he's happy with it, and that's what counts. And he does have some snap peas and a few pole beans here, if you can see them, that are doing really well. Not as well as the sisters, but doing so well. Anyway, so to keep the chickens out, I had put this deer netting around it that I had on hand, and so far, so good. I don't want to praise them too much because they are very naughty girls. Anytime I praise their goodness, they turn around and do something very naughty. Anyway, here we are at the ducks, and I've had ducks for about a year now. Come and gone. But what I didn't think would happen is, look at that cuteness. They hatched out a baby, only one, and of course she's going to try and hide it, but it's a curious little thing. Let's see if I can get a little closer. Now she might try to hide it completely, but I don't know if you can see that. The drake is a blue Swiss, and Mom is actually an Indian runner duck. Now, if that isn't weird, I don't know what was. His original mate was just like him, but she got captured by a fox, and I was so saddened by that, thinking that he was all lonely, and he kind of hung out with the chickens like he was grouping them for his own purpose. So I got him a couple other ducks just to hang out with him. Didn't think anything special would happen. And the other female Indian runner duck also got caught by a fox. So I have protected these two with everything I had. And this spring she is determined to sit on a nest, so I provided her environment to do so, even though chickens kept getting in her box and laying eggs as well. So I thought I might have chicks instead of ducklings, because I didn't know that these two two breeds would be able to create anything. I was very wrong. Never underestimate nature. So here we are with a little baby duckling on our hands and two very protective parents, which is very nice to see. So I have decided that they actually need their own environment, and I am building them their own sanctuary under some very shady trees and very wet lands on our property, just so they can have their own breeding grounds and environment. They are a little sad at nighttime because the chickens all go to bed and they're still stuck out here in this pen, and they let their voices be known. There's Charcoal, Jessica, and their little one. And I really do believe the little one's going to be more of an Indian runner duck than anything. And look at her, she is so much bigger than he is, but they made it work. When we first got her, she stood up much straighter than this, but she's kind of adapted to her mate, so she doesn't quite stand up quite like a penguin, and I think that's very interesting to watch, the time that they have spent together. Normally she would stand up. When she gets excited, like right now, she stands up much taller and straighter. Now these two are my naughty, naughty girls. Everyone tried to warn me about getting goats and how they are the sneakiest and trickiest about getting out of their pen. If anyone has ideas or helpful tips on how to keep them out, from getting out of their pen, then I am all ears, because they have been quite the challenge for the first year of being here. But the one thing that I did discover that is helping the last few days from them getting out is I took tent stakes, you can see those there, and held the fence down so they can't pull it up and slip underneath it. But we will see how that goes in the future. Hi, naughty girl. How you doing? Yes, you are such a lovey girl. This is Peta. She's our Angora, because I really like to do a lot of knitting. My mom likes to do crocheting, and I just wanted to spin my own fiber. Hey, sweet girl. And actually, she was supposed to have another Angora as a pen mate to be part of our herd, and it didn't work out, so I had to think fast and quick, and that's why we ended up with Bella, our dairy goat. I wasn't prepared to have a dairy goat and have to do with breeding and all that, but she has been a very fabulous addition. And thank you, Michigan Snow Putty, for your helpful suggestion that she was not getting fat, that she was just a healthy plump for her growing months ahead of her for the winter and stuff. So that was very helpful and took some worries off me. They are still looks like to me, figuring out a way to get out. And I will be moving on to show you some other areas of improvement. Over here of the area that I had selected for the ducks penned in area, and me and my daughter, 9 years old, is building this duck house for the 3 occupants that we have, plus in the future if they hatch out any more eggs. It's big enough to carry several more ducks to house in there, and right about now is not the perfect time of day for shading for them. First thing in the morning, and then probably about another hour or so, this whole area would be shaded by the willow tree. I also plan on having a door toward the end where the shadiest part is, because we actually have a natural pond over here that fills up with water in the spring and carries through. I plan on doing something with this whole pasture within the next couple years of something else. But one girl's rant, her video, it is so true about the rant she did about the hazards of chickens. And I laughed so much on watching her video, because what she said about chickens being the gateway is so very true. I am a prime example of that. I started out innocently with chickens, and I made my plea to my husband about the benefits of owning chickens and all that goes along with them, not knowing that it was going to lead to goats, ducks, an Angora rabbit, and come up here in the fall, we're going to be housing a pig. I don't know if it'll be one pig or two. I just know that my children are in 4-H about pig racing, and that we will be housing a pig just as a starter to see what it entails and how much work it is, and if it's something that we would like to do as a permanent adventure. So I have a nice shady spot way back behind the work shed. Nice apple tree area where there's plenty of shade and plenty of room back there to house a pen. So that is our future plans, or at least mine. A few things that I would like to get accomplished is I'd like to get a cold frame built over here to use in the winter on the side of the house where it gets most of the sun for the winter time. I have the duck area to finish. I also have a goat stand that really needs to be built and done. I had hoped to get that done back in May, and it so did not happen. I had other things that were going on for Girl Scouts. But it really needs to be done because their hooves really need some trimming, and they really need some grooming that goes along with it. Well, anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll try and get another video out. Thank you.